Hey guys, it's GameCorner for the win here, and welcome back to another Let's Play / walkthrough of my Pokemon Emerald. So, as you can see here, we just got off the gondola, now we're in Mount Chimney, and as you can see, there's Team Aqua and Team Magma members already fighting it with themselves. So, in this first part, this is going to be a long episode, largely because at first I thought, I'll just do the Mount Chimney part, maybe then get to the next gym, but not actually do the next gym. But as you'll see here, I decided, you know what, no, I'm going to put the whole gym in here, no training in between. So, even though this is a long episode, it's going to be an exciting one, because a lot's going to get done. So first, turn your up here. And most of these members will use fire type Pokemon. Generally, they'll also have a Poochyena, as you can see from the battles before, where it's all Poochyenas, Team Aqua and Team Magma were both using. And they also use probably some ground Pokemon once in a while. Oh, and Bat. See, a Bat and a Fire Pokemon. Now, normally this battle isn't very hard. It might be a bit struggling if you went for Trico in the beginning, just because it is a dual battle. If you did have Trico at quite a high level, you'd probably not have an easy time with this. Trico is not great against Numel, and it's also not great against Zubat. Both counter Trico. Even though by then you'd probably have Grovyle, but still, it wouldn't be the greatest. Here, as you can see, with high levels, breeze through, no problem at all. And for all these battles, as I'll be showing here, they're all are sped up. So if you notice the music's weird in a way that it doesn't sound right, that's because it's just sped up by 25%, just so the battles go a bit quicker. Otherwise, it is, as I said before, it will be very slow, and it's not the funnest to watch. Personally, I even think the music's better at this speed. It's more intense, but it's all personal preference. This guy could even sped up to 150% just because he has 4 Pokemon, and they're pretty low levels. So if I remember correctly, Numel is ground fire or it might be rock fire. Either way, it's gonna be deep. Water will wreck it. And if it is rock fire, then fighting will wreck it. And if it is either rock or ground, while grass might not wreck it, it will still do normal damage. So you will probably, depending on what star you get, you'll have different chances, but either way, it won't be the worst. The battle before, it's only really bad if you're going against the Zubat, just because the Zubat does have resistances to it. It's dual resistance against grass, and you see here another Zubat. And you may be wondering yourself, why is that? Well, Zubat not only is flying type, but is also poison type. Poison is strong against grass. Even though in general poison is generally not a very good type, it does outperform some types. The main reason poison is not a very good type is it doesn't have very many strengths. Zubat is an interesting Pokemon. I originally thought I might get it just because Crobat's quite nice, and I just decided, well, I'm gonna get Swellow. There's really gonna be no need for it. And I guess the reason why I didn't get Numel, even though it is an early fire type Pokemon, it has bad stats, bad typing, and most of all, just downright bad speed. I know that's a stat, like I just said, but speed, especially if you already have bad defenses, defense isn't that bad, but if your typing isn't bad or isn't good, then you probably want a good speed to do enough damage. But Numel doesn't have that. And as you can see here in its next battle, not gonna really spoil it, But this guy, instead of using Numel, he used the evolution of Cam Rupert. And the nice thing about Cam Rupert is it does have a decent attack stat. Don't get me wrong, its attacks do damage. Well, almost all attacks do damage. But what I mean by that is it just does a significant amount of damage that's somewhat troubling. But then again, as long as you prepare for it, you probably won't have a problem. God, I love the music when you speed it up slightly. It just makes it so much more intense. So instantly you'll realize that he doesn't have Uchiana, he has a Mightyana, just an evolution. The only hard thing about this evolution is it does have Intimidate, which lowers your attack stat, not just by 1 level, so it's not the biggest issue, but it's still somewhat troubling. I think his strongest move is Bite. It isn't the strongest move, well obviously it isn't the strongest move, but it doesn't do a massive amount of damage. It does do significant parts, like it is bringing me down by 25% each time. And here I actually almost lose Low Tail, 3% health remaining. I'm surprised I actually went for a wing attack there. I probably should have gone for a quick attack, but then again, it doesn't really matter. However, he does not have the evolution of Zubat, he just has, or just Zubat. Still quite a high level. Here I just go out, use the potion. Knowing that Zubat's probably not going to do a lot, but with only 3% HP, it's still somewhat concerning. He does have wing attack, but with Zubat's not so good attack stats, it doesn't do enough damage. So as you can see here, back again with 3 health. That was really concerning when I missed there, because I was like, oh, that's not good. I was saying Mudkipper for the last Pokemon. And then it's like down to the speed stat, and I get confused. This was really frustrating, because I was like, oh god, I really did not want to take damage here. Luckily, I didn't hurt myself in this situation. I was able to get the water gun out. And he did switch to Cam Rupert, and here I switched to Sableye just because I didn't want to be confused, especially since it's the last Pokemon. Basically, I don't think I had any revives at this stage of the game, even though Swell wouldn't have done anything, since I do think Cam Rupert is rock type. But I just heal it with 1 potion here. Make sure Mudkipper's at full HP, going right into his battles. The hardest battle I've done yet. The only easy thing about Cam Rupert is he doesn't have a great moveset. As you can see there, his best fire move was Ember. One of the worst fire moves you get very early on. I think it's Torchic's first fire move. It's definitely not something you would want at this stage in the game. Now, as you can see here, I start using Mudshot. Mudshot does do more damage than Water Gun, only by, I think the difference is Mudshot does 50 damage, Water Gun does 40. The only problem with Mudshot is it can miss, but then again, it also actually decreases the accuracy of the other Pokemon. So it's not a bad trade-off. That being said, if you do lose most of your accuracy, you probably would not be wanting to use it. So, as you can see here, it was a close battle, probably the closest one I've had yet. And after this, he just leaves the mountain. You can grab the meteorite if you want, just take it back to, I think, Professor Cosmo. I think he gives you a TM. It's not the biggest TM, it's not like Earthquake or those ones, but it is nice nonetheless. So yeah, originally this is where I thought I was gonna end the episode. I mean, like, you know what? I'm only gonna make this not too long, just maybe a short segment. But then I was like, nah, let's do the next gym. So 2 boss fights in 1 episode. quite a bang for your buck. Just go quickly and save here. You probably want to save after a boss. It's not, let's say, a dumb thing to do. You also probably want to save before a boss. So here, this guy will sell you lava cookies. I think they're just a healing item. Potions are just better. If you want to get some lava cookies, do so. I rarely ever use potions, even though I know I did use them last fight. And here I just look at this Team Magma guy. I didn't know what he was doing here. I thought he was just going to give me like TM before TM. Because as you saw in the past, Team Aqua guys, when I messaged him, he would be like, oh, you took me out before, here's a TM. So I was like, oh, sweet, I'm going to get a TM from this. And no, I was completely wrong. It's another fight. I almost said boss fight there, but no, it's just a plain fight. It does have somewhat high levels, though. I'm tired. Doing this a bit early. Busy day, as you can tell. A lot of these guys have new moves. And as you'll see in the next gym, which is fire, by the way. It's not a massive spoiler. There are a lot of new moves. Yeah, new moves. So many new moves. Ugh. Just can't get enough of them. And I don't get anything from that, so... Well, I guess I got a burn heal, but again, it's just there, and burn heal is being absolutely useless. What's in the greatest? So as you can see here by the attacks he's saying, it's hard to walk on. It's just, I know it's just normal trainer attacks, but the cool thing is if you have the agility bike, I think you can bunny hop on some of the circle things. I don't know what you'd call those, but as you saw before when I was walking down, if you use the bunny hop on the like the not fast bike, there we go. I have no idea what it's called, arrow or something like that. But yeah, if you do use the bunny hop, you can climb up it easier. Even though I just used the gondola just because it's faster, it's funner to use. And yeah, I try to avoid this fight, but there's nothing much you can do. I wish there was like a rappel for trainers. So like, you're going through Victory Road or something, you'd be like, oh, I don't want to fight any trainers. Repel. That'd be nice. Even though realistically, it would make like no sense at all. I know Pokemon isn't near realistic, but like, like, how would a repel the trainers away? Like, you just spray in their face. Oh, hey, I see you. And it's like, psst. So, as this guy says, you can go back to Malville here, just going down those ledges, but without Fly, it's not super easy to get back here. It is kind of, if you've already cleared out the trainers, just takes a minute or two. So here, I kind of look around. The interesting thing about this place is the Pokemon Center here is connected to this hot springs, which is neat, I guess. But there's really nothing else with it. Here you do get an egg. I don't recall it being a very good Pokemon which hatches out of it. But you might as well take it, why wouldn't you? Especially since I have 4 Pokemon, there's really no reason not to. And yeah, as she says, an egg will be found at the Pokemon daycare. And I will let you guys figure out how that works. Go to the Pokemon Center, heal up. Nothing else to do. Probably a good idea to heal up before your gym. Because when would it not be? I think maybe if you go in the hot springs and your Pokemon aren't healed, maybe it heals them. Maybe that's what that guy said. I don't know. Okay, an interesting thing here is there's a herb shop. Now in the herb shop, you can buy herbs that basically act as potions, revives, and the stuff like that. They generally sell for quite cheap, and the nice thing about the revive one is even though it's rather expensive, it does revive them to full health, which is the equivalent of a normal max revive, which are not viable in stores. And you might think, well, that's really good. What's the downfall of herbs? Well, the downfall of herbs is basically your Pokemon won't like you for them. I guess they taste bad, give you bad breath, stomach aches, that sort of thing. So you will lose a friendship if you give your Pokemon herbs. But then again, like, that only affects you if you care about that stuff. I don't think it affects it stat-wise. But if you're trying to get a Pokemon like grow bad, which evolves with friendship, then it might matter a bit more. Here I also get some super potions, just to kind of balance that issue out. And I could get a Great Ball here, but I was kind of like, no, I don't think Trapinch is going to be that hard to catch. I'm also still thinking of other Pokemon with catching. I will probably get maybe, God, it's hard to say. I want to get a Fire type. I might also want to get a Grass type. There's just not a lot that really fit my style. I might get a Rapidash in the near future. But then again, it doesn't have the greatest moveset, which it learns by leveling up. Of course, you can teach it like Flamethrower and Fire Blast, but then again, I don't think it has the highest special attack stat, which means you'll want to find attacking or physical fire moves, which are, well, not the most common. So, as you can see here in the gym, I try to be nice to you guys, and I know this was already getting on somewhat of a long video, so I was like, I'm gonna try to avoid as many trainers as I can. And as you'll see, not just with this fight, but the fights in the future, I drastically fail with that. There's times in this where there's 2 pathways I can pick, and I think I go through 3 pathways, and each pathway I pick, there's a trainer. So, there you go, I'm not the luckiest guy. Now the main fire type Pokemon they'll have is Slugma and Numel. Probably because those are the 2 main fire Pokemon in the game right now. So that was the first battle, and as you can see here, I kind of messed the audio up there a little bit. It's just I was editing a lot of videos, I was kind of doing it in a rush. Personally, I find editing really boring, but you know, it's one of those things you have to do. So here I go up, or not, or yes. Okay, sweet. So immediately you find another duel battle. It's kind of unavoidable here, but then again, not much you can do. And as I was saying before, both of these guys use a Slugma and a Numel. Wow. Didn't expect that to happen. One thing you might be kinda will just It's not the biggest issue, but one thing you might want to kind of be aware of is the fact of burns. You can get burned easily. Not all these fire moves necessarily will burn you, but since they are fire type Pokemon and they are using fire type moves, they do have a chance to burn you, even though it is a very small. So, easy solution, just carry around a bunch of burn heals. Fairly cheap, but yeah. So here, first one. I pick an, oh no, there's a guy there. I didn't know if it was like one of them was going to have a trainer because that was the first one. I thought, maybe if I go in here immediately I'll just get put down right next to a trainer, but I was wrong. Anyways, I just had to fight another guy. It's good experience and all, largely because you can't fight the trainers in a gym twice. But then again, there's like, what, 8 trainers in this gym. If you really need experience, then it's good, but otherwise, don't necessarily need to fight them all. And there again. Yup, not much I could have done. Nice thing here though was a lot of these guys only had one Pokemon. That was really nice. I'm used to guys having tons of Pokemon, but since it was just trainer after trainer, it wasn't too bad. Battles did go fairly quickly. And well, like the total of 8 trainers, I think that there are in here, means that since they only have one Pokemon each, it wasn't a big issue. If they had, let's say, 3 or 4 Pokemon each, then it would have been a bit more tedious. The one annoying thing about this gym is there's a lot of times where it's just guessing. Like, I probably should have known that there would be 2 trainers there because I already cleared that level, but at that time I was lazy. I was like, whatever, I forgot. I don't think there's trainers here, and I just hit a double battle. The interesting Pokemon one of these trainers had is Kecleon, which has a really neat ability that the fact that, let's say if you attack Kecleon with a ground move attack, let's say Mud Shot, then its ability becomes ground. Or, not ability, but type. Its ability makes its type become ground. And then, if you hit something else, it will change to the other type again. As you see, well, you don't see, because I did one-shot it, but it's basically what it will do. I think that's the only trainer who does have the Kecleon in this gym. You can find them other places, but I think it is a fairly rare Pokemon. Going up here. And another battle. And she sends out Meta-type, which I don't understand why it's in the gym, because it's already been in the second gym. And Meta-type being probably one of them Pokemon I've hated a lot this far, largely because of Detect. I think you can get some confusion abilities. It's a pain to fight. So I just switched up there. I really did not want to deal with Detect anymore, and I would really have just liked to take it out. So as you can see here, the main reason why I am switching it is because I know I'm probably going to be relying on Mudkipper for the majority of the battle, which I do. So I decided, might as well just use it there. And and that was really annoying when I realized, oh hey, I'm back at the entrance. So at that point I was like, whatever, I might as well just use this to get back to the Pokemon Center, heal up, hope I don't run into any more trainers, because that would be really annoying. And yeah, it's a nice thing. So exiting the Pokemon Center, going straight back into the gym. It's good to know the feeling that there's not gonna be a lot of trainers I'm gonna still have to fight. There's probably at the stage 1 or 2 more, but then again, if I can get lucky, I won't even have to do that. And yeah. One thing cool about this gym, I must say, is I like how there's the fog. I know it's kind of like just abstract and really doesn't have any meaning, but it looks neat. And coming up, I do finally reach the gym leader. And I always save before a gym leader or any boss, except for the Elite Four. I recommend you don't save in the Elite Four just because it's not the safest. The best way to deal with this gym, I generally suggest, and especially this gym leader, is just have a water type or ground type. As obviously a counter said, the only time you'll probably struggle with it is if you did take Trico in the beginning. You probably will have other Pokemon at that stage, but you know, again, it's not gonna really help. Now, the only thing about Numel here is it did use Takedown, got a critical hit, and practically brought me to half health. Being that I have 2 Pokemon, that's not a great thing. Luckily there, I got a critical hit. So this is the first gym leader, I think, that has 4 Pokemon. I think it generally stays around 4, maybe the final ones have 5 or even 6, but I don't generally think it goes beyond that. So, as is the other boss battle in this video, she also has a Camerupt. It generally has the same moveset, and as long as you have water or something that isn't good against, or what fire isn't good against, it's not going to do a ton of damage. I think Camerupt does have Overheat, which is a devastating move if it goes correctly, or bad in your way. And the more annoying thing is that it uses Attract, and Attract's really annoying. It's like a confusion that doesn't go away. You don't take damage from it, which is nice, but it's so inconsistent. Like, at least with confusion, you can be like, okay, well, I was confused this time, I probably won't be like confused the next round, or I won't be confused anymore. With an Attract, it's like, it never goes away unless you switch it out, or that's what I believe. I rarely ever see the move used. And then it like does allow you to attack, and you don't know what moves are gonna work and whatnot. It's like confusion in that regard. You don't take damage. It's just as inconsistent. And luckily here, I am able to take it out. Taking advantage of the ground. You have to realize that I presume it's rock fire. If it is rock fire, then try to use ground moves. Ground moves are good against rock, and they're also good against fire, meaning that they do a lot of damage, more than just super effective. It's like double super effective. And here I get attracted again. Really annoying. There's nothing I can really do against it, but I decided, you know what, I'll just stay with it. right when I was about to use water gun, it was used Sunny Day, which was kind of good in my benefactor just because it basically meant that I was gonna able to do that slight amount of damage so it wouldn't be healed. Because basically if I did Mud Shot twice in a row, it would put it in the red, and then she would have healed it, and I probably wouldn't have been able to heal. Especially I wouldn't have been able to heal Attract, which is an absolute pain. But since I used Water Gun, I brought it down to about 40% health and then used Mud Shot again, which allowed me to take it out without getting healed. So here I switch out Tackle for Takedown. I also will probably switch out Bide. I never use those two moves. At least with Takedown I might use it. I don't know. Honestly, normal moves aren't really that great. So after this gym, you will get the Heat Badge, and you also get Overheat. Overheat is a really powerful move. It's a fire type move, obviously. And what it basically does is it does a lot of damage, but after you use it, it lowers your special attack stat, meaning that every time you use it, it's not going to be very or as effective. It also doesn't have a ton of PP, so keep that in mind. So yeah, this battle, or this episode, well, and that battle, is coming to a close.